Hey, welcome back to this episode of RADBMX Builds. We have something absolutely rad for you. I have Christian Holling's bike from the movie Rad. That's right, the 1985 Mongoose Californian. This bike is exact. It's probably the only one on the planet that's all original. There's a lot of them out there that were made and built to look like the movie bike, but this is the complete original OG, down to the reflectors and chain guard, Christian Holling's bike from the movie Rad. You're not gonna wanna miss that. But we got a lot of other stuff going on in this episode. Cook Brothers update. I have a brand new CW Phase 1 build, a Kuwahara KZ01 build, a Redline build, and a complete shop makeover. So don't go anywhere. You're not gonna wanna miss this episode. You're not gonna wanna fast forward. First up, let's do some unboxing and show you the Christian Holling's bike. You saw the thumbnail, now let's check it out and enjoy this episode. Okay, you saw a little bit of the unboxing and now I'm gonna reveal it because I've already put it together and it's insane. I've never owned a bike this original, this complete, and honestly, I don't know that I've ever even seen one. So it's kind of crazy just to handle this bike. I feel like it's everything 1985. It just feels different. You know, when you get a reproduction part, it feels new. All of this feels old and it looks great. This bike was in great shape. So let me give you a quick little story about this bike. I found it on eBay from the second owner. The original owner got it new for his birthday in 1985, rode it down the street, crashed and broke his arm. This bike ended up in the attic of his parents' house, forgotten about. When it was finally pulled down, it was sold to the person I bought it from. The person I bought it from was a collector, and allegedly this was the last bike in his collection as he was selling his collection off, his Grail bike. I just built recently the Crew Jones bike, and it came out really good. Probably the best looking, in my opinion, 85 frame fork set that you could find, and I built an awesome replica of the Crew Jones bike that I sold to Roman Atwood, and he still has that bike. This would have been cool to put it right next to the Crew Jones bike. But without further ado, I know you want to see it. The Christian Holling's bike from the movie Rad. I'm going to show you a little bit of it here. Then we're going to bring it outside in the light and show it to you outside so you can see without cleaning up just how beautiful this bike is. Okay, the all original Mongoose grips, the Lee Chai MX levers. You have the Pro Class bars, Pro Class plate. And remember in the movie they had the white tape right here on the Christian Holling's bike. Then you have the metal with clear brake lines. Bike still has the reflectors. The riveted on 1985 head badge. Lee Chai MX brakes. Has SR hubs. The black Pro Class wheels with the red rim strip and the red Comp 3 tires. We move on back, you have the Mongoose pad set. It's original, not the reproductions that are out right now. And then it has the SR Sakai stem. I know people are going to lose their minds, like take the reflectors off, take the chain guards off. At any other point I probably would, but this bike being 100% original, I'm not doing that. The Pro Class power disc in red with the SR chainring, the SR pedals, and the SR one-piece cranks. The California decals are still on it, the MX clamp, laid back seat post, and then the really hard to find BMX seat that came on these bikes. The Crew Jones bike had a blue one and they always turned like a weird green color as they got older, but this red one's in amazing shape. Reflectors, MX brakes, even the original pads. Like I'm telling you, everything's absolutely amazing on this bike. Hubs, rims, the dice were probably added, I'll give you that. The dice probably weren't on there. Cool little touch though, you know I like my valve stem caps. So here is the original manual for the bike, not a printed off reproduction. It's the original one that came on the bike. I do need to clean it up a bit. It's got some cobwebs. It's been sitting for a while in a collection, so I'm gonna clean it up a tad. You can give a quick little read here. 85 Mongoose Californian, Pro Class bars, power plate, wheels, grips, Cosmolite cranks, 44 tooth chainring, SR hubs, SR pedals, SR stem, Leach-eye brakes, the MX hinge seat clamp, the original Mongoose pad set, and the original reflectors and chain guard. Now notice in yellow, Changshin Comp 3 tires and tubes. So the Changshin tires and tubes came factory on this bike, but the ones currently on it are not the originals. They're the exact same ones, but not the originals. This bike is not a build, it's a survivor. Everything listed in white is unrestored and original to the bike. Okay, now the yellow, the tires. Remember it says, these are the same tires, but not the originals. Here's the cool part. I have the originals. It came in the box. So they're here, they're sitting over there on my bench. They are hard, dry rotted tires, but I have the original tires. So this bike technically is 100% original, intact. Never seen one like that. If you have, comment down below. And I don't mean 30 years ago. I mean in the last year or two, if you've seen a bike that's exactly 100% as you would have got it from the bike shop down to the reflectors, let me know, because I've seen thousands of bikes and that's extremely rare. Let's get it outside and show it to you in the light. Okay, there you have it. The Christian Hollings #1 1985 Mongoose Californian, an ultra rad bike. I hope you appreciate that quite as much as I do. No, it's not for sale. It's actually already spoken for and it's going locally, and I'm gonna give a shout out to him right now. Dark Side Pizza in Boerne, Texas. The owner, Michael, is a collector of all 80s stuff. If you're ever in Boerne, Texas, make sure you go there, check out what he has, and the pizza is amazing. Okay, moving on. We have more stuff to show you. Don't go anywhere, don't click off this, because we have a CW Phase 1 Lightning Bolt build, we have a Redline build, we have a Kuwahara build, we have a whole shop update. So let's get into it, and I'm gonna start off with the CW. Okay, just a little teaser. I had one of these before, built it, sold it, and I don't really regret it because this is a business. It did bring me a lot of money, but man, when I found one come up on eBay in the box, It was an absolute must-have because I do miss that bike. So I'm building this one with red decals, red parts. Shout out to ProNeck for the stem, power disc, and seat clamp. This bike's gonna be absolutely rad. And you're gonna wanna hit that subscribe button if you're gonna wanna see this build coming very soon, just waiting on a few more parts. Okay, this is just gonna be a sneak peek. This is a mock-up. It still needs to be broken down, brought to powder coat, and redone in black. I have brand new identical decals for it, so it's gonna get fresh powder, fresh decals. And again, you're gonna be able to see this bike in its complete form extremely soon. Honestly, the best way might be on the Instagram at RADBMX_builds. All right, a lot of you have been waiting for this. The 1980 Cook Brothers racing build that I did. We were waiting on decals, and there they are. They finally came in. So we are gonna strip off the original decals. It's missing a lot of decals. So we're gonna go ahead and re-decal this and get some pads put on it. And again, we'll show that on Instagram as soon as it's finished. So almost done with the Cook Brothers build. Can't wait. One of my personal holy grail bikes. Okay, like I told you, lots of new stuff in the shop. Let's check that out. Quick little 10-second tour of what's going on. Little workspace area here where I like to compile parts, and that's going to be the CW build. We went ahead and put the Christian Hollings bike up on the table so I can clean it up. My workstation area, tools, parts, the neon signs. And what's new, I brought in some racks, and I decided to display the bikes up off the floor instead of in a rack where you can't really see them. We started stacking them a couple high, and we've got ourselves a brand new glass display case that I put a lot of parts and collectible stuff in, which is actually pretty cool. I really like this, and honestly, I wouldn't mind getting a second one because I have just so many things like that that I could put in there that are just kind of in boxes and all over the place. But as we get back around, you can see got myself a little chair there, the mannequin, the torquer, the Haro that's still for sale on the website at RADBMXBUILDS.com, the 80 Cook Brothers Racing, the 84 GHP, the 83 PK Ripper, the 87 GT Mach 1, and the RADBMX GT Collab GT Nation Tommy Bracken's build right there. Got its own spot for it. And my 24-inch Dyno Pro Comp team model. So that's kind of the workspace right now that I'm working in, and it's coming along really well, and I couldn't be happier with it. It's looking pretty awesome. And now you're asking yourself, Sean, you mentioned the Kuahara. It's coming. It didn't show up yet. But it's a frame and fork set. It is repowder coated. It's a 1981 with new decals. So a 1981, it's gonna look like a brand new bike. Kuahara KZ01 build coming very soon. But I think before that one, we're gonna do the CW Lightning Bolt. So make sure you hit that subscribe button because you're not gonna wanna miss either one of those builds. I hope you liked the Christian Hollings bike. If you did, please leave that comment. You know what really helps? Give me a thumbs up. Hit that little thumb up. If you watched it this far, you can at least do that for me. It costs you nothing. I appreciate it. I appreciate you and your support. And as always, stay rad.